Among the following string matching techniques, which one is generally considered the most efficient in terms of practical execution speed? Correct answer, quick search algorithm. Explanation: the quick search algorithm is generally fastest because it examines the character immediately following the current window to determine shifts. This allows for larger skips and uses a simplified, more aggressive logic that outpaces Boyer more in most practical, real-world applications. Which character shift tables are used by the Boyer, more string searching algorithm to decide how far the pattern should be shifted? Correct answer, both good character and bad character shift tables. Explanation: Boyer, more improves efficiency by using two heuristics, the bad character rule and the good suffix rule. Together, these shift tables allow the algorithm to skip large portions of the text during mismatches. Strassen's method for matrix multiplication belongs to which category of algorithms? Correct answer, recursive algorithm. Explanation: Strassen's algorithm works by recursively dividing matrices into smaller submatrices. It applies the same multiplication strategy at each level until the base case is reached. What best describes a pseudo-random number generator, PRNG? Correct answer, an algorithm that produces random numbers using a mathematical formula. Explanation: a pseudo-random number generator uses deterministic mathematical formulas to produce sequences that appear random. Given the same initial seed, it will always generate the same sequence of numbers. What is the correct return type of the rand function in C? Correct answer, int. Explanation: the rand function returns a pseudo-random integer value between 0 and rand_max. Hence, its return type is defined as int in the C standard library. What is the lowest guaranteed value that rand_max can have across all standard implementations? Correct answer, 32,767. Explanation: according to the C standard, rand_max must be at least 32,767. This ensures a minimum usable range for pseudo-random number generation across all compliant implementations. In C programming, which header file must be included to use the rand function? Correct answer, stlib. Explanation: the rand function is declared in the stlib.h header file. This header provides standard utility functions, including memory allocation, process control, and random number generation. What is the term used to describe ordering elements in the same way words are arranged in a dictionary? Correct answer, lexicographical order. Explanation: lexicographical order arranges elements by comparing them sequentially, similar to how words are ordered in a dictionary. It is commonly used for strings, sequences, and character-based comparisons. What is the time complexity of heaps algorithm, which is used to generate permutations? Correct answer, O of n factorial. Explanation: heaps algorithm generates all possible permutations of n elements. Since there are exactly n factorial permutations, the time complexity is proportional to n factorial. What does integer partition refer to in mathematics? Correct answer, representing an integer as sum of positive integers. Explanation: an integer partition breaks a positive integer into a sum of positive integers, where the order of terms does not matter. For example, 4 can be partitioned as 4, 3 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. What is the power set of a given set? Correct answer, set of all subsets. Explanation: the power set of a set contains every possible subset, including the empty set and the set itself. For a set with n elements, the power set has 2n subsets. Which algorithm is commonly used to detect a cycle in a singly linked list? Correct answer, Floyd's algorithm. Explanation: Floyd's cycle finding algorithm, also called the tortoise and hare algorithm, uses two pointers moving at different speeds to detect a loop in a linked list efficiently. In Floyd's cycle detection algorithm, what does it indicate if the fast-moving pointer, hare, reaches the end of the linked list? Correct answer, no cycle exists in the linked list. Explanation: if the fast pointer reaches the tail, null, it means there is no cycle, as a loop would cause the fast and slow pointers to eventually meet before reaching the end. What amount of extra memory does Floyd's cycle detection, tortoise and hare, algorithm require to determine whether a linked list contains a loop? Correct answer, O of 1. Explanation: Floyd's algorithm uses only two pointers moving at different speeds and does not require any additional data structures. Hence, it operates with constant extra space regardless of the list size. In Floyd's cycle detection algorithm, when the fast pointer, hare, completes one full traversal of the cycle, Where is the slow pointer, tortoise, positioned? Correct answer, middle node of the linked list. Explanation, the hare moves twice as fast as the tortoise, so when the hare completes one full iteration of the cycle, the tortoise covers half the distance. This places the tortoise approximately at the middle of the cycle. Which principle is widely used in combinatorics and discrete probability to count elements by systematically adding and subtracting overlapping cases? Correct answer, inclusion, exclusion principle. Explanation, the inclusion, exclusion principle is a fundamental counting technique used to correctly count elements in overlapping sets. It avoids overcounting by alternately including and excluding intersections. Which of the following is not an application of the inclusion, exclusion principle? Correct answer, maximum flow problem. Explanation, the inclusion, exclusion principle is used in counting problems like intersections, graph coloring, and combinatorial matchings. The maximum flow problem belongs to network flow algorithms and is not based on combinatorial counting principles. While generalizing a solution using the inclusion, exclusion principle, which statement is incorrect? Correct answer, excluding cardinalities of triple-wise intersections. Explanation, in the inclusion, exclusion principle, single sets are included, pairwise intersections are excluded, triple-wise intersections are included, and quadruple-wise intersections are excluded. Hence, excluding triple-wise intersections is incorrect. The inclusion, exclusion principle is primarily associated with which category of problems? Correct answer, combinatorial problems. Explanation, the inclusion, exclusion principle is a core technique in combinatorics used for counting and probability problems. It systematically handles overlapping cases in sets, which is central to combinatorial analysis. How many total subsets are present in the power set of the set S equals 1, 2, 3? Correct answer, 8. Explanation, a set with n elements has 2 to the power of n subsets in its power set. Since n equals 3, the total number of elements in the power set is 2 to the power of 3 equals 8. For which of the following integers is the number of its integer partitions divisible by 5? Correct answer, 9. Explanation, the number of partitions of an integer n is given by the partition function p of n. Here, p of 9 equals 30, which is divisible by 5, whereas the others are not. What does the branch of mathematics known as number theory primarily deal with? Correct answer, study of integers. Explanation, number theory is a branch of mathematics focused on the properties, relationships, and behavior of integers. It includes topics such as divisibility, primes, congruences, and Diophantine equations. What is the time complexity of a program that prints all possible combinations of a given set? Correct answer, O of 2n. Explanation, printing all combinations of a set with n elements requires generating every possible subset. Since the number of subsets is 2 to the power of n, the time complexity grows exponentially. What is the main purpose of the SRAND function in C? Correct answer, to set the seed for the RAND function. Explanation, SRAND function initializes the seed value for RAND function. By setting a seed, you can control the sequence of pseudo-random numbers generated, allowing reproducible results. Which technique does Strasson's algorithm use for matrix multiplication? Correct answer, divide and conquer. Explanation, Strasson's algorithm recursively divides matrices into smaller submatrices and multiplies them using a combination of additions and subtractions, following the divide and conquer approach to reduce the number of multiplications.